Awesome. Cool. Well, we could do maybe quick, short intros. I mean, we know some of you from on screen, but we have Alex, who is the incredible producer. And this is obviously Tiffany, and this is Teddy. No.
Hi. Wait, am I supposed to?
What is your name? And
Oh, did you just say our names? Hi, I'm Alex. I'm the producer.
I'm Teddy. I play Carrie.
Hello, I'm Tiffany, and I play Miss Purple.
Thank you guys for being here tonight. All of your fans in New York are here. And I wanted to start us off with talking about that moment when this project came across your lap. Can you take us to that moment and say what you were doing at that time and what drew you to Miss Purple?
First of all, thank you guys for coming out and supporting and watching the film. I came across this project because Alex had posted on a Facebook group that it was for this project and they needed an actress. And so I just submitted some photos over, and then I went on some auditions, and I auditioned with Teddy a couple of times, and that was it. Yeah.
They found an audition tape I did from 5 years ago. Somehow. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, me and Justin really wanted to tell a story about K-Town, and he had just got done shooting a TV show called Deception. He was actually in New York filming, and we kind of, the way Justin works, he didn't want to wait. He didn't want to go another year without directing something. So, luckily, timing-wise, it worked out. But we came back to LA and we're like, you know what, we want to tell this brother-sister story. Justin has a sister, and he wants to explore these kind of relationships, especially, families in Los Angeles, Koreatown. So that's kind of where the story originated from. So.
Cool. Yeah, and I know this is part of like a trilogy that he's working on. He started off with Gook, which is kind of his story about his father, and this film is kind of addressing the sibling. And I know the third one is in the works. But were you all familiar with this kind of K-Town culture? Because this is a very specific kind of niche community. And how familiar were you guys with it before, and what kind of research went into your roles?
Yeah, I mean, I'm from Dallas, so we have karaoke clubs.
Love.
I guess
yeah.
that's pretty fun, but
Universal.
No, we have karaoke clubs, but nothing like that experience. I got a glimpse of it when I was in Korea when I was younger, and I didn't really truly experience it until I moved out to LA. I didn't know that they were still, still going on and
You
still.
mean the Domies, right?
The Domi scene in K-Town. So that was an experience that I realized like first moving to LA about 6 years ago, and yeah, it was very eye-opening that this practice and this sort of occupation was still very prevalent in one of the biggest cities. So yeah.
Yeah, if you're Korean and you grew up in SoCal like I did, I was like in a suburb 20 minutes north of K-Town. 99% chance you will experience that before you're like 16. So just sneaking out and doing dumb shit. So yeah, I knew about this world, and yeah, it was pretty surprising that Justin wanted to tell this story, but yeah, I was pretty familiar with it. I didn't participate in any of it, I promise.
Why were you surprised that he wanted to do a story on this?
I guess because like coming off of Gook, I thought he would. I don't know. I guess it just like it. All this like what I experienced like in about K-Town, most of it happened in high school when I was, more rebellious and was more willing to get into things like this. So I guess I hadn't really thought about it in a long time because in college I just got really into acting, and then after college I just kind of stayed away from K-Town. It just wasn't my scene anymore. So I just completely forgot about it. And so when I found out that he wanted to do a movie about this, it was, yeah, I mean, I guess not surprising is not the right word, is it? I don't know. Sorry.
No worries.
I was not familiar with the scene at all until I got on the project, and I had talked to many people about it, and also just Koreatown in general, because I'm not Korean American, I'm Taiwanese American, and Teddy, growing up in Southern California, we spent a lot of time together, and we explored a lot of K-Town, we walked around a lot, so I definitely learned a lot from him. And also to build that chemistry, so we spent a lot of time together. But just with the karaoke hostess scene, I wasn't familiar with that at all. And so some of the research that was actually very uncomfortable for me was experiencing the karaoke hostess for a night. I would not recommend that to anyone because it puts you in an unsafe situation, and good thing nothing happened. But yeah, I learned a lot, and I didn't think that it was necessary, but I did understand talking to other girls, like their situations, and I felt like spending a lot of time with Teddy, we had a lot of good chemistry together, and hopefully that showed on screen.
Yeah, no, it really did. And do you have any memorable days on set or like a super emotional moment that you had while filming this?
I think for this character, it's a really heavy character, and for someone who's actually living in the reality of that, it's like a lot of people, they're going through a lot of things, and you're not sure of, you know, what's gonna happen. And so I think a lot of this film is about, you know, someone going through struggles, and even though everyone's situation is different, at least hopefully you can understand what someone is going through.
Alex, are you?
Justin wanted to say hi.
Oh, hey,
Justin's Skyping in. He's in LA. He really wishes he could be here. You want to say hi real quick?
Say
Hold
a
on,
few
how do-
words.
Tell them thanks so much for coming.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye. Just kidding.
No, yeah. Do you have any words for your amazing staff? All of the audiences out here, I saw some, you know, tears. I cried a little myself. Can you spare some words for your New York fans?
Was that question for me?
Yes.
Yes.
What was the question? I couldn't hear.
What do you want to say to them? What do you want to say
yeah.
to the crowd?
Oh, thank you guys so much. I really, truly, truly, truly appreciate it. What up, Sophia Chang? Yeah, you know, I truly appreciate it. You know, there's just so much support, and I feel like, you know, we're really starting to hit a critical mass, you know, with Asian American cinema, and I'm so proud and honored to be able to share my art with you. And, you know, you guys are the shit.
I wanted to ask one question to Justin actually while we
Okay.
have him on the phone. Can you hear me?
It's Joanna. Say hi.
Hey, how you doing?
What made you choose Teddy and Tiffany for the role?
Well, Teddy, I think he's, you know, he reminded me of like the the Asian Casey Affleck. And Tiffany, she just has such a deep sort of intrinsic just presence and a beautiful melancholy that I was really looking for with this character. And she worked so hard. Both of them worked so hard and had such a great work ethic that I just really take my hat off to both of them.
Awesome. And what about Tiffany?
Oh, is it?
Oh, Tiffany. Oh, sorry. Technical difficulties. I can't really hear out of this ear, so. Awesome. Thanks for joining us. Bye, Justin.
I'll put him on my lap.
Yeah. This is a bi-coastal Q&A that's happening right now. Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys, what sort of memorable days you had on set. I know, Tiffany, you mentioned some, but Teddy, do you have any days? I mean, that particular scene where you were pushing, your dad across K-Town, I want to know how you pulled that off as a producer also, but...
Very, very legally. Olympic and Western, if you guys are curious. Which is, if you guys aren't familiar with it, it's like the two main roads of K-Town. I thought we were going to do it somewhere like random, but yeah. Anyways, well, very legally, we had a van right by to pick. It was all legal, but but you know what? The cops didn't care. So
Just a regular day in K-Town.
yeah, they literally just stared right at us and they didn't do a thing. So yeah, I was really, really terrified the whole time because I don't think we had insurance for that. So. Did we? Oh, okay.
I mean, the guy who played the dad, honestly, was killer performance during that scene.
Yeah, no, that scene was one of the most stressful parts of my life. No, we practiced a lot beforehand, which means, how like a pit crew practices,
Yes.
like putting. So we would like practice, bringing the bed out of the car, putting
Yes.
it down, moving it, and it was. Oh, sorry. But no, we're talking about James. The part where Teddy breaks the bed, that was not on purpose. That was on accident. Oh my God. And James, luckily, or not luckily, he just didn't move. And I was like, oh my God, I would have like jumped up out of the bed and
Yeah.
like ruined the take. But we only had one take for that. So, but yeah.
And nobody offered to help.
You were
They just stared at me.
It's all right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. Alex, can you walk us through, because this is not a big, $1 million budget film. This was funded by so many people who believed in it.
And Kickstarter, thank you for those
Yes.
out here. Kickstarter
Me
people.
included. Yeah. So how difficult was that? Because I read in an interview that Gook, it was a little manageable because there were fewer locations.
Yes.
But for here, you see, Tiffany at the
Yeah.
quinceañera, you see her at a club, and you see her at the beach. Can you walk us through how you pulled that
It was
off?
a logistical nightmare. Gook, obviously, for those that have seen Gook, it's mainly one location. It's a shoe store, a little bit more contained. This one, Justin just went crazy with all the locations, and in the middle of K-Town, which is like one of the hardest places to shoot. Yeah, it was very hard. Like first day of filming, we shot at one of Justin's friends' weddings in Laguna Beach. Yeah, that was day one, and it was an open wedding, so we couldn't we had no control. But that was kind of our mindset throughout all through filming. Like Teddy said, a lot of what we did, it's not expensive to get permits. It's like impossible to get permits for what we did.
Yeah.
But that was our mindset. Is like, let's do it. If we get in trouble, we can go back, get permits, try to fix it. But luckily, the cops don't care about it because they are too busy dealing with other stuff to stop filmmakers.
But
So
you don't
gangsta.
condone any of this, right?
Yeah, don't do this.
Don't do this, kids.
Just kidding. Go out and shoot. Just fucking do it.
Yeah. Oh. Well, we have a few minutes left for an audience question. Yeah, awesome. Do you have a loud voice? Can you project? Awesome.
So it was so therapeutic to watch Asian American stories. I know it's like more and more, but man, this really I almost cried at the end. My question is for Tiffany, and it's a lot because like my dad, he doesn't really talk a lot about anything. Like when he does, he just laughs. There's a lot of laughing, and that scene at the end, and I actually wrote it down because it really got me. Like they all looked like they needed somebody. They reminded me of my dad. That shit was powerful.
Thank you.
Justin, that shit was powerful.
He's like, what?
So the question is for Tiffany, like, how did you feel? Because that was such a revealing part for the character and also for the father. Like, I don't know, maybe it was just my experience. I don't know if you had the same experience or.
Well, actually filming it, the words that I actually said, that was actually recorded afterwards. But as far as, yes, when it was recorded afterwards, I was still in that same mindset. and hopefully it connected.
Everyone,
Go do it.
Yeah. Do we have another question? Yeah, yeah. The woman in the front. Yeah.
Yes. So I loved Justin's last film, Gook, and this film, oh my God, it was incredible. So congratulations to you all for creating this really wonderful story. I guess this question is for all of you. So the last Gook and this film they're very different stories, but what I love at the heart of it all is about humans trying to connect, people trying to connect or trying to find connection, which I think as filmmakers and storytellers, that's what every story should be about. But it's also about being Korean American or Asian American. So how do you feel that your cultural background informs character in storytelling, in trying to connect with other people?
Justin, you want to start? Did you hear that? What's up?
So how does our culture inform,
Inform
our
character,
storytelling?
yeah.
With the question, yeah. You know, it's hard to speak for anybody else except for myself. Other than, you know, I think my own experience being Asian American in this country, I've always just felt just so much of being the other, like to such a big degree that you know, the storytelling that I'd like to do, I want it to be very inclusive and also show how we also, you know, we showcase our own culture, but also how we coexist in the United States. So if you notice, you know, in Gook, it's just as much an African American story as it is a Korean story, and this again is just as much a, you know, there's a whole Chicano thread that weaves through the film. Yeah, so you know, I think it's my thing is not just making content just for us, but how does it expand beyond our community, and how does it kind of show us how we should all live at the same place? Yeah, and you know, that goes for everything about it. You know, Tiffany's Taiwanese, and she was really the best person for the role, and it didn't matter that she was Taiwanese and was playing a Korean. I just think that, like, you know, in that sense, we should be really open-minded and just, I think when we take, right now we're living in a time where everything is going the opposite direction, where it's become way too sort of strict in another way that's not conservative. But then I think we become our own sort of conservative, you know, we become conservative in a different way if we do that. And I think that we just need to keep an open mind and with an open heart. And I think that's speaking for myself.
Thank you, Justin. And I know when we talked to you about it before, like, people in our parents' generation being so confused about, why do you want to make this? You know, why do you want to bring up sad feelings or portray us in this light? And I think, you know, you touched on this, but it's important to expand what Asian American experience looks like. It's not always Crazy Rich Asians, no shade, but, you know, thanks to indie films like this, we can really expand it. But yeah, do we have time for one more question?
Well,
Awesome.
actually, sorry.
Oh.
you asked this question to all of us, and like
Oh,
it's
yeah. Oh, so sorry.
no,
Yeah.
no, it's fine. I just really wanted to tell this really quick story. I remember when we were in rehearsals for this film, me and Justin got into conversation about actors we really like, and I was talking about some performances by this one particular guy, a white guy, and I was just like in awe of him and what he was able to do at his age. And I remember Justin got really quiet, and he just kind of looked at me, and he was like, "Yeah, he's good. He's really good. Just remember one thing: like, he can't do what you do." And it's not like a better or worse thing. It's just he can't do what you do, and just always remember that. And that, I don't know. I just never thought of that. I don't know why, but yeah.
I know that I'm Korean Canadian. And to the point about Confucianism, this is my question for Justin and for Tiffany. I guess I felt a little bit conflicted about Casey's role because I kind of felt like
actually challenging it because, you know, it also goes to, you know how she has a dress and it's a hanbok, it's like a traditional dress. What I'm saying with that is what do we bring from the old country and what do we leave behind? Right? So when she burns the dress, what I'm trying to say metaphorically is we don't need to bring everything, you know, including toxic stuff from the old country with us. And as we thrive in this new country and we find our own ways, we become, in a sense, our own new ethnicity, you know, Asian Americans, and we don't have to abide by all the archaic bullshit that is kind of put on us from wherever we came from. And absolutely, it was really important to me that her arc was that she needed to move on.
Thank you. Yeah, well, it's a unique challenge that we have as first gen, right? That we're the bridge. We're the bridge generation, right? Between the old world, so to speak, and the new world, so that my children are being raised very differently than I was raised. And I was raised very differently, obviously, than my parents were raised. But my children's children will be raised much like they were. So thank you. I think and congratulations, bravo to everybody, bravo to you, Justin. I thought it was amazing.
Is that Sophia?
Yeah.
Sophia Ching!
Shout out to Sophia Chang.
But let's all say, how amazing was the movie?
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, well, I think we have to wrap it up, but real quickly, I love for the audience to know how they can keep up with you guys and what projects you guys are working on next.
I'm on another show on Twitch called Artificial. It's a show about an AI robot daughter, and it's using the Twitch's platform. You just gotta watch it. So just go on Twitch and go to Artificial next.
I did a short with Andrew Thomas Huang that also played today, called Kiss of the Rabbit God. Another really talented Asian American director. Other than that, I'm just in talks. So yeah, if anybody knows anything.
Send him his way.
Yeah, for us, I mean, thank you guys so much for coming. But most importantly, just help us spread the word. Like, this is such a small film, and we want, you know, as many people to see as possible. We'll be in theaters in September in New York, September 13th. Follow at Miss Purple Film. Follow Justin. Follow Tiffany. And no, that's how we'll spread the word for the film. And yeah, it's so important because, you know, that's why it's so important to have festivals like this. And thank you guys for coming, because without these festivals, this is the bridge after, you know, why we can come to New York and reach this audience. And you know, word of mouth is what, you know, that's survival for any independent film, especially Asian American film. So spread the word. And Justin.
I don't want to hear what
Yeah, you have the mic. You have the mic.
I'm on the mic now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the reason I'm not there tonight, I apologize. I'm prepping, and I'm going to start shooting a film very soon in the next month about a Korean American adoptee who's getting deported. And it's with Macro, a company called Macro. They made Mudbound. They made Sorry to Bother You. And they made Denzel's last two films, Fences and Roman Esquire. But basically, like, it's fucked up what they're doing to some of these Korean, international adoptees. How ICE is so aggressive and finding loopholes to support them. But that's what I'm doing next, and I'm gonna be shooting Biloxi in September. So you know, let's get it.
What was that last part?
Let's get it.
Let's get it. That's what he said. Let's get it.
All right.
Thank you guys so
all
much.
so much.